Ayo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Ace. This is Fantasize Football. We are back once again, bringing y'all some more fantasy football content for the 2021 fantasy football season. And I am here today to bring you my favorite trade targets for Week 5 of the fantasy football season. But before we get into that really quick, my boy, we wanted to give a quick shout out to each and every one of y'all that come by on a weekly basis, showing the kid, showing the boy, the young boy some love and support, helping the channel grow. It really honestly means the world to me. If you are new to the channel, welcome. You're here now. We love it here. Hey, so if you do enjoy this video at any point, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're dropping your start, sit questions down below in the comments or over on my socials. The links will be down in the description because I am back answering you guys' start, sit questions this weekend on Saturday in the starts of the week video. But yes, we are here today to look at some of my favorite trade targets for Week 5 of the fantasy football season. I got one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, a tight end, and of course, the sell high of the week. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video to hear the sell high of the week. But we got a lot to talk about today, so let's kick it off with the quarterback trade target of the week, which is going to be Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. Now, outside of his big Week 3 performance, he has not exceeded 24 fantasy points based on 6-point passing touchdown leads. He's only scored one rushing touchdown as well, so I do expect some positive regression there. We know Josh Allen is a threat running the ball around the end zone. Now, the price on Josh Allen after last week, which wasn't a bad game. I mean, they absolutely smoked the Texans, but the price on Josh Allen right now is probably the lowest it's going to be all season. So if you need help at the quarterback position, now is the time to go out and try to trade for Josh Allen. He has a couple of good matchups coming up against Kansas City and Tennessee, both games that I expect to be competitive, high-scoring games against porous secondaries, which is great for Josh Allen. Hopefully he can run one into the end zone, throw a couple touchdowns. Big performances incoming from Josh Allen. So like I said, if you need help at the quarterback position, I would be going out and trying to trade for Josh Allen. Now, moving on to the running back position, the first player I want to talk about is Darrell Henderson of the Los Angeles Rams. Now, Henderson is starting off pretty hot for the Rams this season. Now, this isn't necessarily a buy low, but I think now is a good time to trade for Darrell Henderson, and I am about to tell you why. He's averaging 17 touches a game in the 3 games that he has played. He's seen 5 and 6 targets in the last 2 games that he's played, and that is what we like to see. He's developing some chemistry with Matthew Stafford in the passing game. The volume is coming up in terms of the targets. Those are valuable touches that we want our running backs to be getting. He's at 80-plus yards and a touchdown or over 100 yards in each of the 3 games he's played so far this season. He's the clear lead back in a very high-powered Los Angeles Rams offense run by Matt Stafford, Sean McVay at the helm, which is obviously what we want for our running backs. Valuable touches, goal line touches, good offense. The whole freaking pot. Mix it up and have some Darrell Henderson stew. Some Darrell Henderson stew, baby. So yes, if you need help at the running back position, I'd be looking to trade for Darrell Henderson. And the icing on the cake is the next 5 matchups for Darrell Henderson are all great matchups. You have Seattle, the Giants, Detroit, Houston, and Tennessee. So he's got a good stretch incoming. So now is the time to go out and get your hands on Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson. On Darrell Henderson. But if you can't get your hands on Darrell Henderson, then you should be going out and trying to trade for DeAndre Swift of the Detroit Lions. Now, Swift had a down week in Week 4, but he's had 29 targets through the first 4 games of the season. Just over 7 targets a game. If you pace it out to 17 games, that's 123 targets. That's great for anybody, especially a running back. We love running backs that are going to be catching the ball. And DeAndre Swift clearly has a role in the passing game in this offense. Now, Dan Campbell, head coach of the Lions, did project an expanded role for DeAndre Swift. We didn't see that in Week 4, but it is still good news that they do want to use him more frequently. Hopefully, we can see a little more work on the ground. He continues to have this similar role in the passing game, even in a bad Detroit Lions offense. That's going to be valuable if he's going to be getting somewhere in that 12 to 14 carry range and adding 5 to 7 targets on a week-to-week basis. Now, next week, he has a matchup against Minnesota, and then he goes up against Cincinnati after that. So I think these are both opportunities for him to maybe find the end zone, be heavily involved in the passing game. And in the case of Cincinnati, hopefully they can stay competitive so he can see some work, some extra work on the ground as well. So those are my two running back targets, Darrell Henderson, DeAndre Swift. Let's go ahead and move on over to the wide receiver position. The first player I want to talk about is Marvin Jones Jr. of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, like we just mentioned with DeAndre Swift, Marvin Jones had a down week in week 4. Only 3 targets, 3 catches for 24 yards. But prior to that, he had not seen less than 8 targets in a single game. And I expect him to be in that range, that's 6 to 8, maybe even more targets per game going forward because DJ Chark is now out for the season, at least most likely out for the season. This is great for Marvin Jones and for Laviska Shenault. This team is going to be playing from behind. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot. Now, Marvin Jones, Laviska Shenault are the 2 main receiving options with DJ Chark out of the picture. DJ Chark's had multiple games this season with over double-digit targets, so those targets have to go somewhere, and I expect the majority of them to go way of Shenault and Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones has had a great start to the season outside of last week, obviously, like we mentioned. He's got a matchup against Tennessee next week, week 5, this week, week 5, against Tennessee. We love that too. Tennessee, porous secondary. They're probably going to get out to an early lead. And the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, are going to have to throw the ball a lot. Obviously, Marvin Jones, Trevor Lawrence, they already have a connection. And I expect that to only strengthen with DJ Chark out of the picture. Now, moving on from Marvin Jones, the other wide receiver I want to talk about is DeAndre Hopkins of the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Hopkins has had back-to-back, not bad weeks, but for DeAndre Hopkins, just not DeAndre Hopkins-esque weeks. But he was playing hurt last week. He was playing a little bit banged up, and I expect a huge bounce back from DeAndre Hopkins. He is an elite talent at the position. On top of that, he's playing in a high-octane, high-powered offense. Kyler Murray's number 1 option. So I think now is a good time to go out and try to get your hands on DeAndre Hopkins. He's playing against San Fran this week, which you wouldn't think would be a great matchup, but DK Metcalf did score last week, and the week before that against Green Bay, San Fran allowed DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams to go for 12 catches, 132 yards, and a touchdown. And then again, a little icing on the cake here. DeAndre Hopkins has a very good playoff schedule. He goes up against Detroit, Indianapolis, and then in the championship week, he goes up against the Dallas Cowboys. So go out, get your hands on DeAndre Hopkins while his price is at its lowest. This is the buy low opportunity on a elite wide receiver talent if you need help at the wide receiver position. Now, moving on from DeAndre Hopkins, we're going to hop on over to, hold on a second. Yeah, okay, never mind. Sorry, I was just checking something. Anyways, we're going to hop on over to my tight end trade target of the week, which is going to be Kyle Pitts of the Atlanta Falcons. Now, Pitts has been pretty disappointing to start the season, but he's had 6 or more targets in 3 out of the first 4 games. So he's been heavily involved in this offense. This offense is going to have to throw the ball a lot. Matt Ryan looked a lot better last week, albeit in the loss to Washington, but Kyle Pitts, yes, I'm in on Kyle Pitts. I like the volume, man. Like I said, 6+ targets in 3 out of 4 games. It is there. I expect him to see similar volume for the rest of the season. He is the number 2. It's him, it's Calvin Ridley, and then you got Russell Gage, Zacchaeus, Cordarrelle Patterson. Apparently is a big part of this team now. Who would have saw that coming? But anyways, Kyle Pitts yet to find the end zone this season. He has not scored a touchdown. So I do expect some positive regression there for Kyle Pitts. So now is the time to go out and get your hands on him. He's got a matchup against the Jets here in week 5. So this is a great opportunity for the Falcons, Arthur Smith, Matt Ryan to try to get Kyle Pitts going. Now, it is time for the sell high of the week, y'all. What y'all been waiting for. It is time for our sell high of the week, and that player is going to be James Conner of the Arizona Cardinals. Now, James Conner scored 4 touchdowns in the past 2 weeks. Great, right? No, it is great, but it's not great for you. It's great for you. It's great for us. We're selling James Conner. Get him out. Because although he has scored 4 touchdowns in the past 2 weeks, not once this season has he exceeded 53 rushing yards. He is not involved in the passing game in this offense, and we cannot bank on the touchdowns week in and week out. We know that Kyler Murray is the true goal line back on this team. He is going to be the main option running the ball in the red zone. So it's going to be inconsistent production from James Conner. We're never going to be able to predict when he will not score a touchdown. So after these 2 big weeks where he scored 4 touchdowns, he's been a beast for fantasy. I think now is the time to try to move on from James Conner and fill in another hole on your fantasy football rosters. Now, he has San Francisco and then Cleveland in his next 2 matchups. Respectively, they held Chris Carson to 30 yards in the case of San Francisco. And Cleveland, they held Dalvin Cook to 34 yards in week 3. He's got a couple tough matchups incoming where I wouldn't expect a lot of production. So now is a good time to just get off of him and get what you can for him while you still can get it. But yes, that is all. Let's quickly recap. We have quarterback trade target of the week being Josh Allen, the running backs, Darrell Henderson, and DeAndre Swift. Wide receivers, Marvin Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, tight end Kyle Pitts, and then our sell high of the week being James Conner. Get off of James Conner while you can. Get it while it's hot, baby boys and baby girls. But yes, that is it. That is all. That is all there is. I am done for today. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Help me reach my goal of 500 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the fantasy football season. Make sure to drop your start or sit questions down below for Saturday's video. I would love to answer all your questions. It doesn't even just have to be start sits. Any other questions you have, life questions. I don't give a nothing. Whatever it is, just drop your comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're sharing this with your friends, your family, whoever it may be. Follow my socials down below in the description. You can also drop your start set questions, any questions you have there if you prefer. So we're done. Me, my boy, we are out for today. We will catch y'all next time. And as always, thank you, love you, peace.